Hello and welcome. What if there was a way that you could buy property for literally cents on the dollar? What if there was a way that you could earn a secured 25 to 50% rate of return on your money? And what if this return was nearly guaranteed by state law? Well, welcome to the Texas Houses for Pennies page. We're going to talk about exactly how you can do all of this using my world-renowned program, Texas Houses for Pennies. Well, why are you here today? Because if you grasp what we're going to teach you, you will understand how you can use the Texas tax foreclosure system in order to purchase real estate for 1/4 of market value or less. One of my students purchased a vacant lot for only $1,400 and then later sold that lot for $11,500. Another student bought a lot for $800, sold it for $11,000. Another student bought a 1,000 square foot house for $17,176. That house is worth $61,000. Another student purchased a 3,800 square foot house for $62,000, and that house is valued at $280,000. Another student bought a vacant lot for $330 that was valued at $3,000. Now, there's two sides to this investment depending on how you do it. You may also earn a 25 to 50% rate of return on your initial investment through a process that we call redemption in Texas, and you may not get the property, but the county will actually pay you 25 to 50% on what you invested in the tax deed. One example of that happened to one of my students, and they earned a $675 payback on a $2,700 investment. That amounts to an annualized return of 433.3%. So when you invest in the Texas tax deed market, you're really looking at two scenarios. You're either going to get the property for a fraction of market value, provided you do your research correctly, or the individual who loses the property at the tax sale is going to come back and pay you what you paid for the property plus a massive 25 to 50% return on top of that, depending on when they decide to come back. The key to all this, ladies and gentlemen, is proper research and understanding how the law works in the state of Texas. If you do, and you walk through the processes, you will be in very good shape to do very well in this endeavor. Let's talk about one of my students, Alex Rodriguez. He bought a vacant lot in a subdivision in Texas for $7,500. Sold it only 2.5 years later for $29,000. His profit was about $19,000. Jay Lash was another one of my students. We talked a few times, and Jay had the Texas Houses for Pennies program that you're looking at right now. Jay actually bought a 900 square foot, smaller, 3-bedroom, single-family home for only $17,000, and he ended up taking that property and holding it because it's worth about $61,000 now. His equity gain on that transaction, $43,820. Well, basically, how do you do this? We talked about it a little bit. In Texas, there's a two-tiered investment opportunity. You're either going to buy the property for a fraction of market value at the tax sale, before the tax sale, or after the tax sale, or you buy the property during the tax sale and you get a high rate of return on your money. This is done through a process we call redemption. What that means is that the original owner that was late paying their taxes and loses the property to the tax sale comes back and decides to redeem and pay you what you paid for the property. But they are required by state law, if they want that property back after the sale, to pay a 25% to a 50% rate of return on top of your initial investment and even some of the other dollars that you spend on the property for certain things. Very, very key. Now, this can happen in as little as 180 days. In fact, that 25% return is a penalty in Texas. It can happen within 24 hours after the sale, and we've had situations where it's happened in as little as 3 weeks. So it is a full 25% return if they decide to come back. It absolutely is a flat penalty here in Texas. Well, let's look at what Chad and Shauna Lucero out of Phoenix, Arizona did. They bought this property for $62,000. The lowest comparables, $280,000. This was a beautiful house. I had the pleasure of looking at it myself, and it was in a nice area, needed some work. They did some work on it, and they did really well on that deal. All bought at a Texas tax foreclosure sale. Let's keep going. We talked about how if the original owner wants to come back and redeem the property from you, they would have to pay you that flat 25% rate of return. Look up here, flat 25% rate of return, no matter when they come back. Well, here's a deal where two of my students, Susan and Volley Ford, they bought a small lot with a mobile home on it. Well, they got the whole thing with the house and the land for only $2,700. Well, the delinquent property owners decided to come back and redeem only 3 weeks after the tax sale. Susan and Volley Ford earned $675 on that. That is a 25% rate of return in 3 weeks and a 433% annualized return. Guys, there's no bank that's going to give you anything close to that. And because that investment was backed by real estate that was bought for much less than market value. Can you imagine buying a parcel of land with a mobile home on it for only $2,700? Well, we're talking about getting it for cents on the dollar, so there's always security if they have to sell that property. They have plenty of equity right after the sale. Let's look at another interesting scenario. Aaron Light, one of my students, he bought a single family home, this was a little bit back, 2002, for $42,000. The value of that house was actually $120,000. But Aaron has been renting that property out for quite a while, and he sold that property about 4 years later for $96,000. He was able to capture not only the equity from the sale, which was $53,900, but he captured $27,000 in rental income for a total profit of somewhere around $81,000. And what Aaron said about Texas Houses for Pennies was fantastic. He said, "Yours is the only one that laid it all out there on the line. I could not have bid on this property without your clear instructions." With the value of proper instruction, folks, will allow you to do some amazing things if you understand this market. One of my students, Jack Wu, in 1.5 years, bought 21 tax sale properties. Now, he bought these before the sale, and he's now wholesaled these properties for $5,000 to $6,000 a piece. And I talked to the land wholesaler that was buying those properties. He earned a profit of well over $100,000 on that deal. Chad and Shauna Lucero, they earned about $187,000. Aaron Light earned a substantial amount, the rental income plus the profit on the sale. He did very well at around $81,000. Lisa Turner did some smaller deals, and she bought properties in $1,200 range, the $900 range, and has been earning a consistent $10,000 or so on those deals. If you want to learn how to do this the right way, there are many opportunities in Texas. It does take work. It does take time. There are legal processes that you must watch out for. Attorneys do not generally understand this procedure unless they are investors. I am an attorney and I understand how this works. We've been teaching people how to do this for the last 8 years, and there are plenty of opportunities in many, many, many different counties all across the state of Texas. So if you want to learn how to buy a property and create your own high yield investment that is secured by property, that is secured by state law, that is secured by very, very legitimate and detailed procedures that the state has outlined for this process, if you want to do that, I guarantee the most important thing to do is learn how to do it the Texas Houses for Pennies way. We have shown students things that will save them tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars through the years. We will show you to avoid the pitfalls. How do you avoid the pitfalls? We'll show you. We are also going to give you, if you order through us, bonus content right now, immediately. We are going to give you that bonus content today when you order. We are also going to show you how to approach owners before the tax sale. We are also going to teach you how to buy at the tax sale. We're also going to show you how to buy after the tax sale. Before, during, and after. So you have 3 times the opportunities of everyone else out there. We're also going to show you how to earn a 25% return in 180 days or less. Please, folks, avoid all the wealth-wrecking mistakes. Take a look at Texas Houses for Pennies today. We have a 30-day, full guaranteed warranty. You can return the course for any reason whatsoever. Learn the process, learn how to do it. You'll be glad you did. It's created amazing wealth for my students. It is a very good process, and I'll see you on the other side of this page, and we'll be more than happy to get this course out to you today. Take care, create your own high-yield investment, learn how to invest the Texas houses for pennies way. Thank you so very much. We'll see you soon.